ABC of MTG in 60 seconds. U is for Uba Mask. There are cards that are curious, fascinating, beguiling. Uba Mask is a card of this sort. It has a powerful game-warping effect, turning the more lasting drawing of cards into an ephemeral, momentary flash of inspiration that, if not used immediately, is lost forever. Yet the woman holding the mask has no fear of it. Instead, she shows a quotidian regard, as if it were just a tool of the trade. And the mask is not thrumming with energy, but in its wonky eyes and wispy chaotic hair, it does look almost alive. In this art we see the slice of life, the moment before a performer takes on a different guise. In that moment, the performer can become anyone, even a god. But in an instant, that inspiration is gone. ABC of MTG in 60 seconds. V is for Vampire. Vampires have been in MTG since Alpha's Sengir Vampire, who becomes stronger upon the death of its victims. In the following 15 years, vampires were few and far between, but with the inception of Zendikar and Innistrad, the number of vampires more than tripled. With that came many different iterations of how vampires gained strength and power at the expense of others. Many of these focus on damaging an opponent, with Bloodthirst and its variations, or Lifelink, or the similar but non-combat Drain and Gain. Another theme is gaining a benefit upon the sacrifice or death of other creatures. Now there are more than 400 vampires, so we have conquistador vampires, academic vampires, and detective vampires. Unfortunately, this has reduced some vampires to, well, just dudes, with set mechanic. ABC of MTG in 60 seconds. W is for Waterfront Bouncer. Waterfront Bouncer is a significant card from the oft-forgotten Mercadian Masks. It was a set with a distinctive art style, a bright, pastel-shaded storybook aesthetic of which Waterfront Bouncer is a prime example. He's from the port city of Rishadan, a raucous hive of scum and villainy where any self-respecting tavern owner would need some effective muscle to keep out the riffraff. The Bouncer is a spell shaper, a person skilled in the use of a particular spell. In this case, he can turn any card into literal unsummon. That's where we get the MTG slang, bounce, from. Whilst other spell shapers are specialised spell casters, or vendors of charms or magical items that give boons to their users, the Bouncer is just a guy who is really good at his job. So good that it's practically magic. ABC of MTG in 60 seconds. X is for Xathrid Demon. Xathrid Demon is a great example of clean, evocative, powerful flavour. Its stats and keywords put it comfortably alongside Magic the Gathering's most powerful demon lords. And, like all demons, it is demanding, capricious, and dangerous, as hinted at by the flavour text of the mono-black staple, Sign in Blood. Each turn, the demon must feast, but if you keep it satiated, it will sunder your enemy's life totals using the power and essence of the sacrifice. But the best flavour is left for when you treat the demon with contempt. It turns on you, dealing 7 damage, representing it spitefully using its own power against you. And more than that, in perhaps MTG's greatest example of childish passive aggression, it taps itself, ensuring no one gets a go. Until the next turn. ABC of MTG in 60 seconds. Y is for Yavimaya. Welcome to Yavimaya, a verdant forest teeming with life and nature, where the trees scrape the skies and grow roots far into the waters, creating islets of their own. All manner of creature find shelter in Yavimaya's life-giving embrace. Saprolings and their fungus shepherds, gorilla packs, Kavu. Nature's gifts render many creatures giant, whether ants, crocodiles, and the ubiquitous worms. And then there's the trees, unknowably huge, proud, and fierce when challenged. Some humanoid species live here too, but they only do so at the forest's sufferance. Beware. If you displease the forest, it will punish you. Or, if it has a use for you, it might just take you up and bend you to its needs. ABC of MTG in 60 seconds. Z is for Zealot. The first Zealot in MTG was Farrell's Zealot, which was, all things considered, a pretty weird card. If the Zealot goes unblocked, you can choose for it to deal 3 damage to a creature instead of the opposing player. I guess that's some kind of guerrilla warfare effect, but it's not particularly zealous. Since then, Zealots have remained a pretty random bunch, first striking soldiers, pinging Minotaur archers, even mana dorks. But some do fit the flavour of Zealot better, from Kithkin Zealot and Zealot's Endal, who frankly are, well, just racist, to Viridian Zealot, who sacrifices himself to destroy an artifact or enchantment. And probably the most lovably zealous Zealot, Nogi Draco Zealot, who loves dragons so much not only does he make them easier to summon, his fervour means that occasionally, when you have enough dragons, he literally becomes one too. Thanks for joining us on MTG Flavour Source. If you like what you see, please like, share or subscribe. See ya!